Yo, it's Chris Miner, a.k.a. Talk to Me Nice, a.k.a. Dino's Pomoni, need extra cheese and pepperoni.
Dalton Smith, one half of the Step Brothers.
Oh, I'm the other half. And this is Graphic Tongue, bitches.
And this is Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Yo, so what's good, brody?
What's up?
It's been a journey, man.
Yes,
trying to
it
get
has.
into this interview, bro.
Yeah, just to set it up.
Just to
Yeah,
set it up, though.
Yeah.
But
we
before,
here.
yeah, we here though. We made it, and we made it through the storm, bro.
Right on.
Always something, you know what I'm saying? You can always account for something to happen when you're trying to do something
Yeah.
special.
Of course.
Murphy's Law.
You say?
Murphy's Law.
That's
Murphy's
his
Law,
thing,
yeah.
Yes.
For sure. But before we get into all the questions and stuff, just kind of open up, tell us about who you are. We'll start with you, and then we'll go with Dalton, and then you just kind of tell us about who Chris is. You know, what I'm
Like
saying?
philosophically, or
Man,
because that's a deep question.
No,
like, who am I?
just
you
who are-
know?
I mean, yeah,
say your name,
but
what you do,
not-
man.
Yeah,
got you.
just yeah, kind of background.
Okay, I'm Chris Miner, producer. Producer, like, is important. I don't just make beats, you know what
Right,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, I put shit together.
Fact.
I'm also a rapper, I guess, and a podcaster. I podcast with this guy.
Yeah.
We've been at it for 3 years. I just found that out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
It's been a fucking blur since we started.
Yeah.
So much shit we've talked about. It all seemed like it's just been one long ass episode of the podcast. But been doing the podcast for 3 years. I've been doing music since. I know everybody say this shit. Like, I've been doing music as a kid. But I had this 5th grade teacher. Her name was Miss Billups. God rest her. Somebody said she passed. So God rest her soul. I used to write my raps in elementary, and she would like literally grade, because she was my English teacher.
Mhm.
And she used to grade my raps. She was like, you need to put your punctuation here. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I'm writing songs about girls and all that stuff. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? But I've been writing music since like 5th grade, but like professionally, I guess like 20, in the 20s.
yeah.
But yeah, that's who I am, bro.
Good.
So, I'm an Aquarius. I'm saying like long walks on the beach.
What is your social security number? I'm just joking.
Right.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm Dalton.
Okay.
You know, I've known you since you were a child.
Yeah.
I'm technically Chris's manager, but I'm also his partner in crime. So yeah, we have a podcast called Step Brothers Podcast.
Right.
I've been in music for a long time. I started with him and Chaz and your brother
Yeah.
for a long time. So basically, I'm just the behind the scenes guy. Chris tells me something he wants to do,
Yeah.
I'll make it happen.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing. I do it. That's why the podcast, you know, I have like insight with different things. I'm the oldest, so I'll be 30 this month. So I'm 30. I'm recently married. So now I'm a husband.
Yeah.
So it's you know, 2020's been crazy, but
It's
yeah.
been a journey. Just
But
like-
yeah, that's me. I'm just the behind the scenes guy. I try to be out of the camera as much as possible, so I'm on it right now. But I like to be behind it. I like him to get the spotlight more than me. But there
Well,
we
let's
go.
just start with the podcast. Like, how did
Okay.
that come about? Like, what made y'all start doing the podcast?
Yeah, it was me.
we moved in together
Mhm.
like
17.
2017.
Yep.
And it was something he was always, because he had moved to North Carolina
Yep.
maybe like a year before, and we had these, like, you know, we can't see each other, so we're talking on the phone for like an hour. I'm just telling him about all our friends out here.
Right, yeah.
He's telling me like how lonely he is out there in North
Right.
Carolina, and he was like, bro, when I come back, I wanna. He told me 2 things. He was like, I want to open a cereal bar,
That was one thing. Yep.
and he wants to do the podcast. I was like, oh, that's interesting. The cereal bar, not so much. I always felt like we could open up anything and it'll work.
Yeah.
But the podcast is because podcasts weren't as big as they are now at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, bro, you almost gotta be like famous. Like Joe Rogan has always had like the #1 podcast in the world.
Right.
So I was like, bro, I feel like you kind of got to be famous to get that type of shit, to get the type of clout, to get people to pay attention. So when he came back, like, the first year obviously is the roughest year in anything.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I was rough is because we had to find our groove. I used to get dumb lit. You know what I'm saying? We live together, right? So we would do it like on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Put it out for a Monday. And I would be late to the podcast, and I live there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's true.
Ready to start. I got to go to Starbucks. The woman I was dating at the time, we used to go to Starbucks, or we had to go get the big bottle of wine because everybody used to come.
Everybody come over.
Watch us do the pod.
Yeah, we used to do it in the living room.
Yeah.
So
the first year that just finding out our groove, and then when Dalton and his wife moved in together. We kind of took a break because they had to get situated with that.
Right, yeah.
And once we picked it back up, we ended up getting a studio to do it. Well, it was an office space that we turned into a studio in Dallas. And that's when it kind of really started looking up for us. We had even before we moved to the office, we had other local artists come on, all walks of life. We had Bam's Vegan. He's a vegan chef. He's very popular. I went to school with him. Southside Vic. He was like the Twitter comedian.
Okay.
And,
big on.
He's a rapper now. He doesn't want to be considered a comedian anymore. We had Coach Tev, John Doe, obviously Super Miles, Mo Films, Maurice Films. He's a very popular videographer from the area. And so on my homegirl Leslie, which to me was our most interesting podcast because I met her at charter school. I used to go to Metro Charter Academy in 7th grade. And she was the brain, like Dexter's Laboratory smart. You know what I'm saying? But she ended up moving to the East. Like, it's not Japan, like Korea or something.
Correct.
She ended up teaching those kids how to speak English. She was a teacher.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that was like very interesting to me. I know when if she sees this, she's gonna be like, "No, nigga, I went to fucking Tokyo." Or something.
No, she was South Korea. I remember. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure I asked her, "Is that the good Korea or the bad Korea?" But yeah, we had some very interesting guests though. Like all jokes aside, and Dawn had hired a company to like promote us and shit. They ran our account, all that shit. So needless to say, the podcast is very successful. So I'm glad like we're still able to continue to do that every week.
Yeah.
Only time we missed the podcast is that he on his honeymoon, obviously.
Right.
Or if I got some family event,
gotta go.
Gotta go. He left the day of, like he got married. I'm out, nigga. I'll see y'all niggas in 85 days.
Had to.
So yeah, like the honeymoon and like family trips or something like that.
Yeah.
But we do it consistently every week, like no matter what. So that's that's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Don can explain better than me.
You went just around.
I know, bro. Y'all don't put me on camera, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I basically just told him like, hey, we're gonna do a podcast when I move back, because I knew I was gonna move back after I was there.
I'm not staying.
No, I love the city. It's just I didn't have nobody. I was literally by myself.
It's a beautiful city.
But it was. I think that was what kind of like took me over the top because being in isolation by yourself. I think a lot of people in pandemic can attest to that. But I just started thinking a lot about different things I wanted to do, and then when I got back, I kind of like trying to map it out. The cereal bar is still in play, but it has a different idea now. But it is still going to be a cereal bar. Okay. I can talk about that for hours because there's a reason why.
He didn't loop me in on that. I didn't know it was a different plan. You know what I'm saying? This how like this is why Robin left Batman, became Batman. They kept him out the loop. Okay. What we doing? You know what I'm saying?
I can't disclose.
What we doing, Batman?
Right. What we doing?
I can't disclose it until it's perfect.
What's going on?
Tell me you was gonna let me get taken.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Taken.
All that shit.
Yeah. So we just been doing it. the only reason we got rid of the office is because I got a bigger spot with my wife, and we have a whole room now.
Yeah.
Like this, that's just
so
set up.
Office.
Exactly, right. That's set up way more comfortable. Just a chill ass spot, and I got way better equipment now. So like it just killing now. We're gonna start live streaming soon. Yeah. We're gonna get like a schedule together. Chris gonna make beats on there. We'll do the show.
Talk about anime.
Gotta do a good anime one. For some reason, there's no anime on Twitch. For some reason, I don't know why. But
that is interesting that it's not on Twitch.
Right. That's
like,
where
at all the places.
Yeah.
Like you think that
but I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Video games for sure. Like they'll talk about games and shit.
But not anime. It's for sure.
Not anime.
I don't know. I've seen someone build something with wood on there, but no one does anime. They have random shit on there. I'm telling you, but not
like,
that.
Most people go on Twitch to play games are into anime, so it's like, why would you?
There was one Dalton we saw on Twitter. This guy he drove to like all the stores to find this rare Pokemon card. He spent over like $30,000 to get to find. He found the card. And he opened it on Twitch, and he had like over 9,000 people watching him open Pokemon cards.
Strange.
He got it.
Very strange, but
and he got it though.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
That's
that
coming up.
One's kind of cornered that market. This video won't come out anytime soon, so no one will be able to.
Right. So we could.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, we could get that going before.
I am not worried about it.
Yeah.
But I want to focus on like 2 points that I noticed about something that you were saying in your story and something you also kind of said about you guys starting the podcast. And one thing is like you was talking about your teacher. You was talking about how back then you was just writing. Right. It really wasn't nothing like serious. It was just kind of like I'm inspired. It was very serious. I mean, it was serious for you. Right. As a kid, I get you because as a kid I used to write, but it wasn't until that point when I got a phone and I realized GarageBand and I started like actually recording myself. You know what I'm saying? And that was cool. But then I took it even a step further and got even more serious about it. And was like, okay, I'm gonna go to school for it. I'm gonna go to Media Tech. You know what I'm saying? And like, so now I'm keep furthering my like seriousness about it. And that's kind of like the pattern that I'm seeing with your career. I mean, and just in general, like what you guys talking about with the podcast. Right. About like, y'all went to that next step. Y'all took it serious.
Well, I'm going to be honest about that next step, bro. No, it's for real, because I always knew who I was as far as music. Right, okay. Like, I knew that identity very well. Right. It was okay, do I need to get a job? Do I stay in school? Like, is this person going to be my... Like, that side was the side that held me up on this side. Right. And once I figured it out, like, and the pandemic did a lot, but one thing it did do was help, at least me, focus on what's really important. Yeah. Because like Don said, you're by yourself majority of the time. A couple people broke the rules, this and shit. But in the grand scheme of things, like, I went to a restaurant recently, forgot how to order food. Like, I don't know how to talk to people. Real though, like, outside of my friends. I could talk to them any kind of way, but that next step, especially working on Talk to Me Nice, it was like the first thing I really wanted to do was get all my peers involved in some capacity. I believe Jesse. He's a videographer. I do. Our other homie Ryan, he's a photographer. Ridge went to school for business management. Dalton went to school for obviously music. So I was like, we got all the tools. Y'all just need somebody to like lightning rod this situation. And I figured, okay, once I realized the music that I was making was something people actually wanted to get behind, right? It was a wrap. Like, all right, we, the social media campaigns, the listening party, the I don't know what else the group meetings we had, Google Hangout. Right. You know what I'm saying? Bringing everybody together. Very important. It was almost more important than the music. Yeah. Just to show that like conglomerate, like we all we got in a sense. We don't need, big labels or anything to get this. We can do everything from home. Right. You can make the songs at home, get them mixed and mastered at home. You can upload them to the DSPs from home. It's that type of small business, mindset. You can grind this out with not limited resources. I guess the better word for it would be limited funds. But again, getting all those doubts and fears up out of there, there's nothing in your way but you know.
Yeah.
And once you start to realize that, I feel like, sky's the limit.
Yeah, and to be honest, there's something that I wrote down like a while back that was been like always like inspiring to me, and I always go back to it about like because I'm up and coming. Like,
Right.
I don't have all the funds.
Right.
I don't have all the equipment.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I saw like this big fire. I don't know if y'all have seen this. Like it was a big fire in Grand Prairie.
Oh, the fucking
Poly America.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was like for me, I had a moment where I was like, no one takes fire serious when it's sparking.
Right.
But they take it serious when they see the smoke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you see the smoke coming off and it's burning stuff, it's like that's when people are like, "Oh,
yeah, we need.
That's a fire. We need to put it out."
Get out of here. Yeah.
The sparks is what caused it.
The sparks is what caused it. It's always been serious. It's
Right.
always been something that you should pay attention to.
Right.
But it's not until the fire rise and the smoke rise from it that you really, start to notice it, start to pay attention to it, and start taking like the importance behind it.
Right.
But everyone has that process in that moment where they don't have all the equipment and they don't have all the funds.
Right.
But it's that consistency that comes out of that. How consistent can you be in spite of everything? You know what I'm saying? I've met people who've shot short films
Right.
on their phones.
Right.
And entered in festivals and was winning awards out
Right.
the woozah. You know what I'm saying? Next to somebody who has a black magic, per se. You know what I'm saying? Like, compared to those, you would think the person with the black magic would. But if the person with the black magic is not consistent
Right.
with his story and
Right.
writing and meeting with the people, and his people don't buy into it and believe in it, then it's nothing's gonna be there. It's just gonna be
It's gonna be a
Right.
fancy piece of shit.
Yeah.
Wrapped in a bow.
Right.
Yeah.
people can't get past your lifestyle sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why moderation is the biggest key factor. One, because of your health. And then two, because other people sometimes don't even want to work with you because they recognize that you don't have moderation. They
Right.
recognize that you don't have discipline.
Right.
They recognize these things. And they're like, I don't want to work with that person. So it's like, I think as an artist, we have to really remember how important it is for us to be disciplined and be modern about the things that we dabble in and that we take on in our day-to-day life.
That could go both ways though,
It definitely can.
because I know for sure. I mean, Lil Wayne, we knew,
Right, yeah.
and everybody wanted to work with him, but
Yeah.
we knew.
But
They
the
do the
thing
end
was,
result,
that's the thing. I think it worked.
Sometimes how you get there don't matter. But what's this end result gonna be?
Yeah, it's what works for you. Because
Right.
for him, that moderate was getting all the way fucked up.
Right.
He could go all the way in.
Right.
Because I could still spit out a verse that's going to be hotter than 10 rappers that you bring in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've studied my craft so much, it's like second nature.
Right.
So I can be in a whole nother universe, spit out that verse.
And most of the time, he was just sending the verse to him.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. He high and that.
Yeah,
Spit a verse,
exactly.
bro. Give it to him.
I'm sure.
And his backing, his
The
Young
era
Money.
that he's speaking of too, you literally had to do it like in person too. So
Yeah.
there's a difference there.
Yeah.
But even with ODB on that Mariah Carey record, because that's like fantasy, I think this song.
I think so.
Something like that.
Classic though.
At the time, ODB was like
ODB,
that
yeah,
guy,
yeah, he
you
was
know?
a dude.
Yeah.
So you gonna put up with ODB to get this ODB.
Exactly.
The energy that he brings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what happened.
because
That was a hit.
because even when he got on set, I didn't tell this part of the story, but even when he got on set for the video, apparently the guy went in to see if he wanted clothes, and he was like, "I don't need clothes."
Right.
Then the guy came back in, he was like, "Hey man, where my clothes at?"
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
because he's like he was fairly also on set like fucked up too, but
Yeah.
it was
That-
one of those
that was just
things.
him.
It was just him, you know what I'm saying?
That's
As
how it
in
was.
as a creator, but I think a lot of people look at other people's lives. Like I always say this:
Yeah.
Smallville and Superman are two different people. A lot of times people look at Superman and be like, I want to be Superman.
Right.
I want to be able to take those bullets and shoot laser beams and fly across the... But it took Smallville, Clark Kent, to realize all the ability he had to be able to push himself and not push himself past his limits. Even though he died sometimes, he came back.
Fuck
But, but you know what I'm saying? I think that it's just... We all have to realize that we're different individuals, and we have to put up those guards for what works for our lives. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
I think you brought up a good point before you asked the next question.
Is it, yeah. Was it?
It's for you as well.
Yeah.
'Cause you brought up the fact that, like, sitting in my room, 24. The problem with now is that with the massive amount of social media power we have now,
Yeah.
is people think that they have to have their life figured out in their 20s.
Yeah.
Okay? It is very
Talk to
untrue.
us. Talk to us.
It's very untrue. I mean, the 20s is where you're supposed to fuck up at.
Right.
It's when you're on your own the first time.
Right.
Because most of us, you know, it's the normal. It shouldn't be, but the normal is once you're 18, you get out of the house, you go try your own shit. But people act like you're supposed to be like, once you graduate, I'm gonna be a millionaire by 22. That's a great goal. Yeah. I hope everybody can do that, but it's not realistic. Yeah. And also, you shouldn't beat yourself down if you can't achieve that, because, dog, at the end of the day, you're only fucking 22. Yeah. Like, you're only 24.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm about to be 30. And then my grandpa's in his 90s, so he's still kicking. So I'm saying, like, there's never a time to stop. I mean, there's a lot of people you can give examples of that.
2 Chainz.
Yeah. Right? Like,
Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Griselda, all them niggas 30, 40 years old already.
Yeah, see, like, there's no time limit to say, you know, when it starts and when it ends. Snoop Dogg's still doing the shit. He in his 50s. Jay-Z's old as shit.
Yeah.
We got all these old motherfuckers, and they still killing it.
Right, yeah.
So, like, there's no starting point, there's no ending point.
I wonder if Justin Timberlake can still dance, though. Like,
I think he can.
He probably can't do all the stuff,
but
but he's still in relatively good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
two-step.
You know, don't ever beat yourself up about where you're at. You know,
Facts.
It could always change any day. You know?
Facts. That brings us to our next question. We was talking about 30s.
Thanks.
Right to my next question, I forgot. You know what I'm saying? This is all on the spot right here. You know what I'm saying? This is all right here in the moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're watching this, you're like, damn, that nigga don't know what he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on. We got lights here. Right. This is a lot goes into this.
We got lights here.
That's how you know we serious. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody got lights. You know, we got lights. We got boom mics.
See, what he's doing right now is padding for time. Right. So he gets this question right.
Right.
So I'm gonna try to help him out a little bit.
I think that a lot of times in artists we have a cap space, and I used to hear this all the time where people be like, "Don't have a plan B," and I used to be like, "I want to be a musician." People tell me to have a plan B. Y'all telling me not to, so what do? Right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I have a plan B. Don't we just plan A? And they was come to our schools all the time at Reagan. They would give us inspiration to talk. But every time they talked to us, they was coming from like some like job, like I said, that was already paved out, already carved out, already saying, like, go this way, go this way. You know what I'm saying? The GPS. I didn't have no GPS. You know, they didn't factor in the people without the GPS. Is what I'm saying. But I think a lot of times we have a cap on like, okay, after this point, I'm going to stop doing all of this and I'm going to go and do something that is making me more money. Right? And it's like, I feel like when you got to be careful, because it's like, what are you doing it for at that point? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're doing it for making some, of course, ultimately all are doing it for to eventually start getting paid off of our art. That's the ultimate goal. We all want to get paid for what we love doing. And that's making art, making music, painting, whatever it may be, poetry, whatever it may be. You want to get paid off of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be doing that for free all your life, of course. But I feel like sometimes we put the sky's the limit thing on there. And if our life doesn't look like the thing that's in our head, we sometimes then say, I'm going to call it quits on this after 2 years because I'm not reaching where I want, because I don't have a patty on my wrist. I don't have the chain. I don't have this certain amount of number in my bank account. So I'm going to stop doing this because
I don't got the bitches.
Right. You know
For some
what I'm
reason,
saying?
that's on the list.
That's on the list, though. That is on the list. That's high. You know what I'm saying?
It's very high on
when I walk in the club, niggas don't know my name. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the same 3 bitches, but whatever.
No, facts. And like, I think the thing is like, what I started to realize as artists is there's people behind, like you said, behind the camera. There's people who are scoring the films. There are people who are doing other things. And I think the reason why you're not getting paid off your art is because you're not exploring it enough. You're not using it to its full capability a lot of times.
Her out.
Yes, you gotta work it through the streets, man. Like, you can't just be out here like one corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be hitting all the corners. You know.
I love women, by the way.
We're using the metaphor.
We're using it as a metaphor.
I'm
but
married.
But to speak on that a bit, an artist must home in on the skill of being able to walk and chew gum at the same time.
Facts.
It's very important.
He loves his accent.
I love that. Did I sound? It sounded like really like educational and shit, right?
I like it though.
PBS type shit.
Yo, once
right?
you got something, you stick to it. I mean, you good. You
But
good.
no, all jokes aside, we have to be able to multitask.
Exactly. Exactly.
I know it's hard working a job and pursuing a dream, but it's not impossible.
Yes.
Impossible.
It's not impossible.
Takes about a week.
Yeah.
You know, it's a difficult takes a day. So, myself as an example, I dropped out of high school, 11th grade. Amir Wyndham, you owe me a college education.
He does this every time.
We dropped out of school. We had a showcase for Atlantic Records,
Right.
and you probably remember because you were aware because Juwan was there.
Juwan was there, yes.
So
Yeah.
we had a show. Atlantic Records had a showcase up at what's the spot? Dallas?
A Curtain Club.
Curtain Club in Dallas. And it was like big deal. We
Right.
like the way they were doing it even back then to let you know that they're still pimping us, the artists.
Yeah.
We had to sell X amount of tickets to get a certain slot in
Right.
that show.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're still doing that to this
Yeah.
day.
We sold them all, too, by the way.
We sold them all, like 100 tickets. We sold them all. We had parents buy extras. You know what I'm saying? Obviously,
Right.
we didn't have 100 people there.
Yeah.
But still, it was damn near close, though.
Used to sell them, not to show up.
The room was full.
So we ended up getting the last spot. We sold all the tickets. And Amir, well, first of all, just a little backstory.
Yeah.
This is back when everything was on CD. I know a lot of y'all don't know what that is.
It's a disc.
You know what I'm saying? And you put it into something, DVD, Blu-ray, whatever.
Right.
But our CD was fucked up. But Pete, it was a brand new CD. We had the jewel case and everything.
Yeah, I burnt it myself.
Like, we had all our shit on there.
Right.
The DJ was like, oh, they ain't working. And Chaz, shout out to Chaz French.
Chaz
Y'all go
French.
stream
Hey,
his
check
music.
him out.
He entertained the crowd for like 20, 30 minutes. He telling jokes. He making fun of people. Like, just to keep the, momentum
Energy, yeah,
going.
yeah.
So finally, the DJ was like, all right, we got your shit. Boom, we go on. We doing great. We killing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Bitches throwing panties on stage, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do. But Amir Wyndham, he's sitting in the back. You know how in the cheesy 80 movies when we gotta perform at the Battle of the Bands, man. and the guy who's the big record dude in the back, he just sit back there like
Right,
that.
with the glasses.
Amir Wyndham.
That's what it was, yeah.
He came on stage. On stage, bro. I need to stress how important is how everybody involved with that at that time. Why everybody's flourishing is somewhat your brother's acting now.
Yeah.
Chaz got record deals and all that shit.
Right.
We building our shit from the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, he came on stage and was like, look, I don't know who the fuck y'all niggas are, but I'm finna make y'all niggas stars, basically. You know? He was like, I need all y'all's music. I need all this shit. Like, email me everything y'all got. Like, we didn't even finish our set. Facts. Like, if I'm lying, God strike me down now. Like, we didn't finish our set. So, obviously, we get done with the show. We killed that shit. And, I was finna say something really wild. But, like also in the movies, like, when the one girl is at the show and you're on stage, y'all, it's like everybody else like fades out and it's just her. I had that moment. I've never had it again. I hope she's doing good.
That's a perfect moment to have it, though.
Yeah.
That was a good night.
Yeah, it was a great night. But anyways, so literally we was riding on a high that night. Everybody went to go celebrate. I went to Miles' house and we started making beats like immediately after the show.
Right.
Because I knew like if we don't show that we want it, it's gonna get taken away.
Yeah.
So we had to. It was a lot of late nights like recording. Dalton also at this time he had a job where they would make him travel out of town. So he was our engineer. He was our everything, and we couldn't do anything without him. So my homie Matt. He went and got the equipment and we started recording at his house. But mind you, none of us have cars, so we had to, or Justin had a car at the time, so we had to wait for Justin to do whatever he did late at night, and then he'll come pick us up. We got to drive all the way to whoever the fuck Dallas, or somewhere in Dallas.
Yeah, North Dallas.
Wherever the fuck Dallas, should I say. And we were just up all night, and that stretched for like 2 weeks. In those 2 weeks, I was not going to school.
Right.
So I woke up one day, and I was just looking there. I was like, bro, we have an opportunity to snatch this shit up.
Right.
And I just called my mom because I wasn't living at home at this time. I was living with Dalton. I just called my mom. I was like, "Yo, I'm not going back to school." And she said, "Okay, like no slack, no flack, no shit, you know."
Yeah.
All right, you doing what you want to do. I can't say nothing.
Right.
You grown. You know, that's black people. Black parents say that. I don't know about. If you grown, don't bring your black ass back home. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, his dad got some quotables.
I know that.
Oh, fucking day.
But yeah, I dropped out of school, and that was like 2011. I was supposed to graduate 2011. So I literally just like registered at TCC to get my GED last year, and but this is at the time of my life where everything's going to shit. Like broke up with the love of my life, or I thought it was the love of my life. She's clearly not. Just very low,
Right.
like very low. And I was like, man, I need to do something for me. You know what I'm saying? The guy on the Everest, you sitting on the couch all day anyways, man.
Man, fuck that guy, bro.
Get up and go get you a job or something, man. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, finally, I was like, bro, let me go get my GED. Literally, I had, like, the way the GED shit work, if you don't know, if you're inquiring information, it's not based off of grades or anything. It's literally based off of time. So you have to bring in, like, 42 hours or whatever the case may be. Nigga, I had one more day. You know what happened on that day?
What's that?
The NBA said, fuck that. We ain't playing no more. The pandemic here, nigga. Then they closed down the schools. Then the NFL. Everything closed down the day before I had one more day. I would have been in this bitch with a cap and gown on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I would have had my shit. So, but thank God, you know, they found a way to get this school shit back up and running for the kids and everything. And they reached out to me, actually. It's like, yo, we finna start the program back up. Are you interested? We're going to do it from home. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm interested. Because I could walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah.
I had no problem, like, curating. I made an album back then, but I had no problem doing that album and going to school.
And it's the trust in the process.
I wanted to, the walking and chewing gum thing, like, I don't want to put his business out there, so I won't say him by name, but one of the most popular artists in the underground scene in Dallas work for Uber Eats right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's no shade. That's, he's able to be Bruce in the day and Batman at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that is very it's possible to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can wear many hats in this. They tell you not to because it's distracting and it'll take away from it. But if you want that shit, no reason why you're not up at 5 a.m. taking those shots up, putting those shots up before you got class at 7 a.m. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. So it's possible.
Yeah. That brings up a good transition. There's two myths about just doing any kind of art stuff. The first one is that if you have a plan B or a backup or doing like you can't work a day job, it distracts from your dream job. Right. All that bullshit. That they try to like fill you with. Do not feel bad that you have to have a job to live. Right. Nothing wrong with that. Doesn't matter where you work. McDonald's, Target, Walmart, do what you gotta do, right? Especially if you know you want to get in art, you know that you're gonna leave that bitch eventually anyway. So let's make the bread now. Take their money. Yeah. They paying you, right? So, so that's the first myth is that you can't, do two things at once, basically, right? Damn. Now I'm lost in my because I had such a train of thought.
It is possible for an artist to double dip the chip.
To double dip the chip, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's okay.
Double decker.
Again, to throw it back to something Dalton said earlier,
I'm gonna think of it.
This whole social media shit's going on. It makes you feel like, well, I guess it's kind of a younger person type of thing. They see, that kid has on, because I know my younger nephew, he sees that shit and he thinks he's not cool because he ain't got the ones or the gear or whatever the case may be. And for a younger aspiring artist, for them to see that kid with that stuff on and he's doing music videos and girls like him and hit him up and shit, like, stuff like that. I mean, it can get discouraging to see that you're kind of doing the right thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But to be honest, there's really no right way to go about shit.
No.
It's really, again, it's time, it's chance, it's luck. There's
Right.
a lot of things that it's God.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that play in the factor than most people take into consideration.
But ultimately, like you're going to school to do audio engineering, but you're also here interviewing us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're wearing two hats.
Yeah.
And it's okay to wear two hats. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So.
Because that's a big reason why I brought that up. Because that's the big point that I've been talking about in these interviews. Because, like I said, I make this for the average 15-year-old, 14-year-old, 13-year-old. You know what? Let's go 5. Because I started playing the drums at 5. I taught myself how to play drums. I've been knowing since 5 that I wanted to play and be in music. So I make this for the young artists. I'll just put it that way. There's no age limit. Young artists out there. And personally, growing up, you know, just commenting on something you said about going to school and, like, the comments. I had that. Like, people, I didn't have the J's. I didn't have all that. But one thing I did have was confidence. I had confidence enough to put on something and make people look my way. You know what I'm saying? And make people feel like, oh, he clean.
Right.
And I'll be in a bow tie. I take real pride in this.
Right.
I started a trend, even though I will never get credit for it.
Right.
I started a trend of bow ties and like the vest and like the things, like, you know what I'm saying, when Kanye was doing the college dropout type of era.
Right.
He had the little like vest. You know, I was a church boy, so I had the bow tie. You know what I'm saying? I started wearing it to school because I didn't have jeans and I got tired of people trying to talk about me.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna show up sharp.
Right.
I'm gonna be clean. You know what I'm saying? And people started rocking with it. Like, people really was coming up to me, commenting about the jacket I had that day.
Right.
And that made me feel good, but it made me realize that this wasn't Polo, this wasn't Abercrombie and Finch, this wasn't any type of top of the line. This was out of Burlington Coke Factory.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But I had enough confidence and I had style and I put it together and I walked in that school like I was the shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that's what wearing two hats and wearing multiple hats is being confident in those hats. You know what I'm saying? Even talk about your life. I like that you brought in that, you know, you got your wife now. And that's, I feel like that's a different life. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other life. That's a whole different type of life of balancing a family and your career now.
Right.
And that's like the main thing is that I wanted to get y'all to touch on was trusting that process. Because I know I've definitely known Dalton and I've known you about the same time, but I've known Dalton a real long time. But I've been knowing Dalton and I've watched Dalton and the music and their career go to different places. I remember the studio when it was in that, I think it was the storage place. Storage facility. I remember that. You know what I'm saying? I remember coming over I remember coming over to Dalton's crib and seeing the studio mic set up. You know what I'm saying? I remember all of the different things. I remember where it started to where it is now. And for me, that is probably the most inspiring thing because it keeps me going.
Right.
Because I'm able to see, I guess, quote unquote, the Smallville artist. You know what I'm saying? And I think that what happens is a lot of people the cameras only turn towards the artists who've already made it, who got the chains, who got the money, who flashing on Instagram with 250 million followers. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy as a young artist coming up in this generation to be like, well, I don't got that, then I'm not a successful artist. But success is based on the person, not people around you.
Success is in the mind, not the pocket.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I want to lead us right into our next little question, bro, which is just, I want to just get tips on how to build and keep a healthy career. That's why I was leading for trusting the process. Is just tips, because y'all a little down the road. You know what I'm saying? And most people I brought on around the same age as me. You know what I'm saying? And not that they don't know neither, but you know what I'm saying? I wanted to get from people who've been doing this a little longer tips on keeping a healthy career. And like,
be old out here.
I'm not saying that at all, because I'm not that far off. I'm 24, so like, I mean, Before you know it, the years gonna come by and I'm be like 30. I just feel it. But y'all got it though, you know.
I will be 36.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all already got 30 on me.
Yeah.
Like Dalton got 30. I don't know. I'm not gonna.
28.
Somebody asked me your age.
Somebody looked at me. I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, no, I got you.
But y'all been kicking it longer. I'll just put it that way.
I'll say this. Facts. Get you one of these niggas. Like,
Facts.
they don't sell these in the store, but no, for real, because all I know is how to make a beat, how to write a song, how to record a song. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And that's only half of the battle. You need to know how to upload it, where your music can be played, where you can be seen. Like, you got to have somebody reading contracts. There's so many other things on the other side where if you do just want to be an artist,
right,
you never gonna know. Like, I mean, obviously you can Google this stuff now, so it's out there.
Yeah.
But it's just it's easier for me to kind of like,
yeah,
because I got them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We on the phone, we going through it. Don was like, okay, bet we're all done. I was like, bet we did it. Don was like, oh shit. Something happened. Everything got wiped. Like, we had to re-upload everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking process.
Yeah.
And it's discouraging. Like, you're like, fuck it, I'll do shit tomorrow or whatever. And another tip to add on to that, in which something that I learned watching Dalton, is not to get discouraged.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I found that procrastination is the fear of failure. And I didn't know that growing up. I knew what procrastination was. Oh, I'll just put it off till tomorrow.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I realized, damn, I need an 85 to pass that class. If I don't get an 85 on this, I'm not gonna pass that class.
Yeah.
And for some reason, putting it off to the last minute is what we tend to do in those.
Because they give you excuses. We're like, well, I only did last minute, so it makes sense though. Yeah.
But I when I found out procrastination is just the fear of failure. I had to get that up out of the funk. Like,
right. Yeah.
Don't put it off. Do it immediately, because you never know. Like, the moment you finish it, it's like something good could come from that if you do it when you first put your mind to it. And if Dalton would have put that shit off, we might not have. Well, we was gonna have the album, but he didn't wait. He didn't give himself time to be like, I'm gonna do this tomorrow. It's like, as annoying as it is,
yes,
I'm gonna do it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, just somebody to help balance that shit. I don't think any artist will, get in front of a camera and lie and say that they did it all by themselves. They'll say it, but they'll never mean it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it takes a village, literally. It takes from a guy that, for instance, for me, I'll put this all the way out there because I don't give no fucks. I don't drive at all, period. I never even tried. I tried to drive, but I never tried to get my license, none of that shit.
Right.
That shit is not for me.
Yeah.
I know that. I know it's not. I know it, bruh. So, people ask, people ask when I tell them, like, no, I don't drive. How do you do this? How do you do that? Like, I don't do nothing that my niggas can't go do.
Right.
Clearly. And it's and I know, like, if you're not a part of, like, the friend group, it sound like I'm using these niggas for rides places and shit. But it's literally like there's a clear, defined understanding. KRIS is not getting behind the wheel. And we're better off for it. You know what I'm saying? We're better off KRIS not getting behind his wheel, because this nigga gonna have a panic attack and he gonna crash it into somebody, maybe on board. He might end up dying. It's like, it's better that he don't drive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I got this support system, and I feel like every artist, whether you're behind the camera or in front of it, every artist needs to have a support system. That's how you keep the course.
Yeah.
Because on days when you feel like you're not strong enough to make it through, somebody will give you those words that you need, or somebody will come over and cheer you up. And they even got to be dealing with getting the right interview questions down. Y'all niggas should be talking about fucking baseball. And just based off that conversation, it can give you that little flair that you need. You know what I'm saying?
The solo, I did this shit by myself, solo dolo, always a lie. Don't ever believe that shit. It's literally impossible to do it by yourself. Like literally, there's no way that's just you. Like you recorded it all, you mixed it all, you mastered it all, you walked in there, uploaded it all, you did everything. No one was involved in the process at all.
Right.
Okay.
You're gonna be in the
not
corner
even
shaking.
someone like like your girls there, your parents are there. There's somebody. You got siblings or somebody. Somebody's there.
Somebody hit the record button.
The important thing is to have like-minded people around you. Do not have yes men. Probably the worst thing you possibly have in any field. If you're an athlete, whatever, you don't need people telling me like, yeah, you killed that, bro. And then you get out and make an ass of yourself because you think you the shit, but you're not.
Right.
So,
you shit, you just a cold fart.
Black Klansman.
You think you're hot shit? You're just a cold fart.
That's yep. There you are.
This is the I had some criticism, but
oh, here we go. I don't like the way he. No, okay. But yeah, have a team of like-minded people. So, especially if you're doing, especially now. I mean, we're in the internet age. You don't really labels are becoming more and more archaic. All they are is just a money machine. That's all they are. They don't do nothing different than what you do. They just get throw more money at it.
Exactly.
That's it. So, if you have a team, build a team that with like-minded individuals that can do all the stuff. Do it all in-house because you won't have to reach out for nothing. Don't have to outsource anything. The only thing I outsource is artwork because I want to hit up different artists because, people make different covers. I got this guy to draw my cover for my wife because I couldn't draw it. I don't know anybody could draw like that. So I was like, yo, can you make this cover? He was like, hell yeah. And he made it.
To add something really quick, Barry Gordy, the owner of Motown, was a pioneer. I feel like he doesn't really get the credit for the pioneer shit. But one thing that he said that always stuck with me was like, nigga, I write checks. D said this before Diddy. That's the important thing. I write checks. So I'm going to go find the person that can do this so I can pay them. Because that's not my field. And that's very important. I'm sorry.
Very
important.
Very true.
Yeah.
Know what you're good at, Like, don't, like, so, I know a bunch of people that can do a bunch of shit at the same time.
Right.
They're great at it. And that's cool. But what is your specialty, right? So, like, figure that out. Get the team together. That's an important one. And don't be afraid to take chances. I think that's the biggest thing I could probably say to anybody like starting, especially younger folks. They're kind of scared to jump in. Yeah. Because like I don't have $1 to my name to do this. Like it really don't take money to start it. It's more money on the backside to get things done. But like getting started don't cost no money. An idea don't start till you ain't nothing to it but to do it, right? So you just got to get out and do the damn thing. So, you don't go to the NBA without practice. So you have to try things, and you're going to have to fail. Do not be afraid to fail.
Kobe Bryant.
When you lose or you fail at something, you learn a lesson. Yeah. And that's the most important thing. If you fail and don't learn anything from it, that's a problem. I think it's more of a problem if you don't learn anything from it.
Right.
So take what you can. And then you will get there. And do not measure success by someone else's success. Everybody has their own race. Run yours. Don't worry about the next lane. Stay in your lane, and you'll figure it out. Because like I said earlier, there's no age limit. There's no age requirement. There's no minimum you have to be or max that. Like once you turn 25, it's not like the door to music shuts off. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there. Nothing will stop you. Or acting, whatever you want to do, it's there.
Yeah.
And then. If you do make it, expand on what you got because there's many opportunities. Like I'm talking about opening a second business with my cereal bar idea. There's always things else you can do with it to expand on it, and basically essentially increase your universe of things that you got going on, which always ties back in to what you're doing. So never. I think you were saying don't get discouraged. Yeah, it's good to have, and that's what I always pride myself in being was someone. Since I am the oldest, I wanted to act like the oldest and be like a role model or like a big brother per se to make sure that they get to where they're going. Because I don't drink like that. I do not do any drugs whatsoever, and that's just by choice. It's not something traumatic or anything like that.
He literally waited until he was 21 to drink.
I did, yes.
If that don't tell you all you need to do.
The reason being is because I know what they do, but I have to make sure that I am level-headed to make sure that they don't go too far. I need to be that person to, if something happens, I could stop it before it gets to that point, right?
Because we all falling over. It's like
yeah, because if we're all fucked up, like what are we gonna do, right? And to make sure that they don't fail, I want to make sure that I don't let. If you're an observance and you let someone fail, you fucking suck, bro. Like you can't let people fall if you have the opportunity to stop it. So that was I made it my job to do that, to make sure they weren't fucking up.
Right.
And if they're having fun, not having too much fun, not going too far, make sure they get home safe. Even if they're throwing up in my car, whatever, I'll make sure they get there, because that's what that's what my main job is, to make sure that no one, fails.
Facts.
Yeah.
Being that glue, you need that, and I think there's a lot of different things that a lot of people look at a lot of times, especially when it just comes to just being artists. I don't think they take into consideration. This is why, like I said, this is why I started this. I want this to be like almost like an archive of, like, if you're a young and up and coming artist, to come to and be like, hey, I want to be a musician. Let me go listen to this video and get some gems from here to necessarily pave that road for them, because maybe I can't, in the future, I hope to pave that road even more for artists and everything, and make it more easier for artists.
Yes.
That's my biggest goal. But you know what I'm saying, I'm hoping that this can also start that. But main thing is what I love about most of the things that I'm hearing is about the jack of all trades and things of that nature, about that you can do it. And that's the main thing. It's just, I want people to know they can do it. These are living examples. They're doing it, and they're telling you how they're doing it. So if you don't know how to do it after you watch this video, you just didn't listen. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
we're not famous.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying? These we are currently right now living in the Smallville era. You know what I'm saying? Before the Superman era. You know what I'm saying? Before Superman 1 comes out. This is where we are. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm speaking and I know what I'm going, I know what I'm gonna do. When I get to the Superman issue 1, and you look back on the Smallville era, you can look at this and tell how I got here, and hopefully start to pave your own life into that. And that's my ultimate goal, is just to be a role model for young artists. But I don't have anything else. The only thing I want to end on is, what should we expect from you guys in the future? You know what I'm saying? And just what to expect. Yeah.
I'll speak for both of us. More podcasts. Step Brothers Podcast on all platforms.
Every Monday. And
more music, obviously. And more lusher sounds, more obviously more bars. I can't not do that. You know what I'm saying? That's second nature for me. You know what I'm saying? But no, all jokes aside, I really want to work with more artists from my area, help build them up. Many people that work with me thus far would tell you that I don't charge them a dime for a production or to record, because I'm just looking at it as, I guess, practice in a sense, but not really practice, because I take that shit seriously as if it was the game, but it's just adding to my
resume,
my
repertoire.
What you call it, with the armory, if you will.
Yeah,
What I'm saying? My gun bunker. I don't know.
No one thought that.
War,
talking about the Batman belt.
Yeah, war shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to work with all the artists from my area, and also my crew, like the crew of artists that we work with closely. Obviously work with them and get them to where they want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing Don did for me, I want to do for other artists.
Facts.
So that's what's next.
No, so I'm just gonna end on don't hate, collaborate. Let's go.
Yeah. Look, and that's it. I mean, last thing is, shout out to the camera crew. If you don't know, my friend right here, Eduardo, he's been keeping us on. Special shout out to him. He's been keeping me on time. Time management is not my thing. Okay?
Someone's got to.
So as he has Dalton for his time management and keeping him on time, I have my Eddie here.
Right.
That sounded really weird. Yeah. But there's no more. This is Graphic Time.
Hey.
Yes, it is.
Yo.
Yes,
It's Chris Minor. Graphic Tongue.
Yes, it is.
One time. Look.
Yes, it is. Talk to me nice.
How wonderful a God to have my mission in stone. I came and I gone, so where I lay my hat is my home. I can't condone that bullshit you on, my homie. Now Corleone, I just wave my hand like Mahomes, and I can have you dead and gone like T.I. song. Dance on your grave like Timberlake with Timberland's on. I'm in my zone. I just scored a 2-point conversion, dashing the scourging. She texting the flurry, she telling me hurry. I'm on my way while they standing in place. They stay in their grace while I'm on my third plate, which means I've been eating. They starving and shake. No, I can't relate, cause that cake has been baked. I'm young and living single like Latifah and crew, just playing with screws, cause most of these girls missing a few. And I've been down bad, but I'm up now. Remember they wouldn't talk to me, won't shut up now. They wanna bust down, I am no clown. They all about the cake, whole time they plotting on you like Lonzo did Jake. I escape faith as silence death is. Ask me if I'm blessed, yeah, don't ask me if I'm next. I'm the only one, never that the same as worse as it gets. Searching for the truth will look no further than KRIS. Big shit popping, reminiscing the tip. She call me Big Papa, I remind her of Big. Of course I wear it, you know, if the shoe fit. In love once or twice, but now I'm back on the strip. Keep one eye open just in case she trip. Avoiding all things that'll ease my grip. From the get-go, live from the 108 Green Oaks 360 South, yeah, that's where my mama stay. And if you dare bring some drama too, where my mama stay. John unsheathed the sword and I don't care what mama say. She can sigh all she want to, but she know her son don't play. Shawn Michaels of this day, young HBK. Sean Corey in his prime, I know that's blasphemous to say. Expectations real high, so if I fall, I'll be safe, nigga.
Listen, that's called motherfucking bars, nigga.
Yeah.
You know nothing about that.
Yes, it is.
Talk to me nice.
Yes, it is.
Graphic tongues,
Yes,
Subconscious
it is.
Music, Step Brothers
Yes, it
Podcast. You heard? That's it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Ed on the cut.
Yes, it is.
Talk to me nice.